Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of the Secondary League Podcast, a baseball podcast presented by the Pinch Runner. I'm baseball YouTuber and writer for the Pinch Runner, Dawson Wright, and today, and as always, I'm joined by Noah Wright, who is also from the Pinch Runner. And Noah, I figured it'd start off today's episode with a little Armenteros update.
Yeah, you've been watching him pitch in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done an Armenteros update. I mean, we're not gonna have really any in the off season. Hopefully, he doesn't get traded. I mean, if he gets traded to the mid leagues, then great. But, so yeah, Armenteros, he pitched on Tuesday. Wait, no, Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, Friday. Tuesday.
I thought you said he pitched yesterday though.
No, he pitched on Friday night. He pitched on Friday night. He went 6 innings. Gave up 2, and it's weird with Armenteros because he always gives up something in the first inning, and then he just kind of settles in, which is the reason he didn't get called up, I guess.
Maybe.
I mean, the Astros did call up Josh James, who pitched 2.2 innings
and struck out 4.
Yeah, last night against the Red Sox. So. I mean, of course Josh James struck out 4 in 2.2 innings. He is mental. Coming out of the bullpen, throwing 99, 100, 101. I think he touched 101. I'm not sure. But so, yeah, there's our little Armenteros update.
Yeah, and then I kind of want to talk about what happened yesterday with the Royals and Twins, how Jorge Lopez almost threw a complete game, not no-hitter, but perfect game.
Yeah, didn't he walked somebody, right? And then he gave up
He
a hit
walked somebody and then he
Grossman.
gave up a hit.
Yeah, he gave up the hit to Grossman, so yeah, that was interesting. That probably would have been the best thing of the year for the Royals.
Yeah.
But man, the Twins fell off. What happened to the Twins?
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the year we were talking about they're gonna probably be like wild card competitors at the least.
Mm-hmm. They flip-flop with the A's, basically. I mean, because remember last year when the Twins sort of, came out of nowhere? They went to, from, 100 losses to, they had, 80-something wins? They might have had 90. I'm not sure, but...
I don't think they had 90.
I think they had, 88 or 87.
Yeah, and then they were in the wild card against the Yankees.
And then they blew a 4-0 lead, so, yeah, that was some fun, but... Yeah, we're going to talk about the A's a little bit later, but first, we need to talk about the stolen base decline because this is getting really lame. It's getting really boring.
Yeah. I like watching fast guys steal bases. I don't know who wouldn't.
Yeah, but okay, so stolen bases have been on the decline for a while, and I really think that this is mostly an effect of sabermetrics and a lot of the front office guys because, if you look at the numbers, unless you're, Billy Hamilton or D. Gordon, it doesn't really make sense to steal, especially in most situations when you would steal, right?
Yeah.
Because, stolen bases are down, the hit and run is down, and it sucks. It really does suck.
Yeah.
Because
when was
the last time you saw a legitimate hit and run while watching a game?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I think mine was like 3 years ago.
I can't remember.
It's just, exactly, which is sad. Okay, I was at a game last night. I did see a stolen base. It was from the center fielder that is the Flash. He is incredibly fast.
I'm looking at the highest average sprint speeds in baseball right now. And number 4 is Adam Engel from the White Sox, and he only has 15 stolen bases this year.
Yeah, so, even a lot of the fast guys' stolen bases are down because, you get into the more sabermetrics part of it, and then, you have the front office guys tell the manager, hey, if you steal here, your chances of scoring go down, because he could get thrown out.
Yeah, this is also going to be Billy Hamilton's first season with less than 50 stolen bases since 2013.
Wow, that's... Well, I mean, Billy Hamilton gets on base not that much, so...
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. And I know that you have another reason for.
I think another reason because if you look at it today, who like the bigger catcher names are like guys that aren't great hitters. Like you have Martin Maldonado on the Angels, and then you have on the who was it? The Brewers. You have Manny Pena, who neither are big hitters, but they're very good defensively. I think that's also.
Maldonado has a cannon. He throws some dots.
There's not very many catchers that are like Mike Piazza anymore, who are like offensive only, defense is at the very most. Like the only guy I could think is the only guy I can think of us like that is like Gary Sanchez, and he's like, no.
What? Okay, what about like Wilson Contreras though?
Wilson Contreras, like, he's not bad behind the plate, isn't he?
I think he's pretty good. I mean. Yeah. But he's one of those guys where he's, he's like a four-tool player. He can do pretty much everything besides run really fast. So,
yeah, which
is usually what catchers are. You don't really see a lot of guys behind the plate that can, steal bases themselves. But, yeah, he's good defensively. Offensively, he's been putting up some pretty good numbers this year. So
I don't know if I don't know.
He's been doing all right. He's better than most catchers offensively.
Yeah, okay, I'll give him that. But like then you have JT Realmuto who's like a fast catcher actually.
yeah, JT is fast, but it's not common you see that, Yeah. But I mean, stolen bases going away, it's boring. I hate it. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Because,
we're never going to see unless something changes, we're never going to see another, like, not Reggie Jackson. I can't think of it right now.
Ricky Henderson?
Yeah, Ricky Henderson. I couldn't think of it for a second. But we're never going to see a guy like that again unless something major changes, and I don't like that. Because I wish we would, though.
Yeah, because, like, a lot of the players, are being told by front offices and their coaches, who, give them the message from the front office, like, hey, don't steal, right? Because, you'll see, no outs, no out situation. You'll have a guy with decent speed on first. Situations where in, like, the 80s you would steal, now you just don't see it because they're like, oh, well, you have, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but, like, you have, like, a 40% chance of scoring with no outs and a run on first, right?
Yeah.
And, it's not worth the risk of him getting thrown out at second,
When it could be a game that's important.
Yeah, when it could be a big inning for us because there's no out. So that's part of the message that's relayed to them. And, the front offices are obviously right about this. Statistically, it doesn't make sense to steal. But I want to see stolen bases. I want to see hit and runs, all that kind of stuff. Because those are some of the most exciting plays, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, you'll get, like, most of the action in baseball is pitches. Like, because, like, every single pitch. But the more you can extend that play, the better it is for the game because there's more action.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So, I don't see a solution for this because front offices don't care about making it exciting, right? They just care about winning. They want to win. And I'm sure a lot of the players, they would like to steal, but they're like, oh, well, if they're telling me if I don't steal, we have a better chance of winning, then I'm not going to steal, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do to try and win. So, yeah, it's disappointing.
Yeah, I like watching fast guys steal. I like watching Billy Hamilton run. It's fun to watch guys like that.
I know. It is fun. Like, even when, guys like, I don't know, Brandon Belt get a steal every once in a while, because they can read the pitcher well. That's fun, too, because it's action, and people want action. People want stuff to happen besides, pitch, strike, pitch, ball, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's really no way to fix this, right? They can't implement a rule saying you have to steal at least 2 bases a game or something, I don't know, but yeah, so F in the chat for stolen bases. And
F in the chat for our next topic.
Yeah. Yeah, our next topic, we got the Orioles, who are historically terrible.
They're getting there.
They're dude, I still can't believe at the beginning of the year they're like, "Oh, we can kind of contend for a wild card spot."
Yeah, I don't think anyone really thought they could, but how do you get this far off course?
I think that they thought they were going to be like around 500, maybe.
But how do you get this far off course?
I don't know. You know, it's really funny because Diaz is probably going to have more saves than the Orioles have wins, which I think is hilarious.
Diaz who?
Edwin Diaz, the Mariners closer.
Oh.
Yeah. So
he already. I don't think.
Dude,
I don't think they can
I
unless
just looked
like
at their record. They're already at 100 losses.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude, it's the start of September. Oh my gosh, that's
Edwin Diaz.
just brutal.
Edwin Diaz already has 53 saves, and the Orioles have 41 wins.
Oh my gosh, don't they have 47 wins actually?
I'm looking on Baseball Reference. 41 and 101.
Oh, they have 41. Oh,
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, like we're saying, I don't think they thought they could be contenders, but I don't think anyone really thought so. But how do you go from thinking you could be contenders to historically bad? It's like if you went to a gun range, blindfolded yourself, pointed towards the range, and then somehow shot behind you.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really help them, you know, when Chris Davis, for the first, like, almost 4 months of the season, had what, like, 30 hits?
He only has 78 now, so...
In 441, he's hitting 177.
Yeah.
How much is he being paid? Too much?
I think
Too
$23 million.
Oh my God.
He's getting paid. Let's see here. Next year he'll be paid. This year he was paid $23 million to hit 178 and with 173 strikeouts. He has more than double the strikeouts than hits.
That's unbelievable. How does that Dude, okay. I knew when they signed that contract, I knew it wasn't going to be good. But I didn't know it would be this bad because
I didn't think anyone thought that the Orioles would be this bad altogether this season.
I know, like they look decent. I mean, they
didn't look
Manny.
bad, you know.
Mm-hmm. But it's just, you know, I'm looking at their depth chart right now. It's just everything's terrible. I mean, Adam Jones and VR are doing okay,
and then but your best pitcher is Andrew Kashner with a 4.89 ERA.
Man, how do Oriole fans still exist right now? I would leave this franchise.
I don't know who it was, but I just remember during one of your live streams early in the year, I remember an Oriole fan say, "Oh, we can still compete. We just need to add a few pieces."
No. No.
And that Chris Davis was only in the slump. Well,
man, they're going full tank, aren't they?
They have bad. I don't think they have another choice.
Yeah, I feel bad for whoever gets drafted to the Orioles in the first round next year. You know, because
they mess up development of players too.
Yeah, like Manny Machado's a rare case, but like, let's see. So they're gonna have the first pick pretty much no matter what now, right? So
I think that's a given.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know. Also an F in the chat to whoever gets drafted to the Orioles. Oh man. So yeah, the Orioles are horrible. So they're actually kind of close to the worst record ever.
Yeah. The worst record ever is 37 in 117. And it was set in 1916 by the Philadelphia Athletics.
How were they that bad? I don't
How are the Orioles this bad?
That's a good question, but I mean, well, look at their roster. Of course they're this bad.
Okay, but did anyone if you told me that the Orioles were going to be historically bad this year, I don't think I would have believed you.
Well, I don't think I would have believed you if you told me Chris Davis was only going to hit 177. Like, it's just everyone around there. Man, that clubhouse has to be dead by now, right? September 9th, at the date of recording this, and they're just trying to not have the worst record of all time.
They're trying not to be one of the worst teams ever to exist.
I mean, they are. They kind of are.
Yeah.
They're going to finish with 110 wins or 110 wins. 110 losses for sure, right? Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so. Oh, man, that's some 2013 Astros right there without the rebuild. At least the Astros had Jose Altuve. This team has
nothing. The Astros at least had Jose Altuve and a decent farm system.
Now the Orioles are just screwed, man. We'll see them in 15 years from now. like what are you gonna do? Yeah, they have the Chris Davis contract. Sure, Adam Jones is being overpaid as well. There's not a single young star on this team. I mean, VR is what, 29?
27, I think.
Okay, but I don't know. He's not going to be around, or he's not going to be good by the time you come around.
Their top prospects when they get here don't really look great. Like, do you really think Chance Sisco is going to be a major league catcher?
No. They don't have... they don't have the Blue Jays have Vlad Jr.
and
or
Burchett and BGO. They have a bunch of former players' sons, but they're all doing good.
I know, minors. And the Braves have Acuna, they got Acuna, and the Orioles have nobody. They
don't have that prospect that everyone looks at and thinks that's going to be a major league player someday.
Mm-hmm. Or they don't even have a few top 100. Do they have anyone in the top 100?
I'm looking at it right now. They have two. It's
two?
Yuncel Diaz and Ryan Mountcastle. I think.
I think the Astros have more than them. And the Astros are, in my opinion, the best team in baseball right now.
I don't know, but all right. That's a discussion for another day.
All right, well, F in the chat for the Orioles too, and the Angels are also pretty depressing because another season with Mike Trout has come and gone. Well, almost come and gone.
I mean, it's over for them.
Well, it's over for them.
There's nothing really for them to fight for right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just... why is Trout still there? Can he be on a playoff team for the sake of everyone?
I mean, it's not like the Angels haven't tried to be a playoff team. It's just every time they try, everyone can't stay healthy. I think I was looking at one time. I think every single player on their opening day lineup at least had one 10-day DL stint this season.
Everybody?
I think so.
Oh my god, dude! I have their depth chart pulled up, and I see unavailable. This is the longest unavailable list I've seen in my life.
I'm looking at I'm going to look at their current injury list on Baseball Reference. I'm going to name how many are on their DL. Zach Cozart, Jake Jewell, John Lamb, Alex Meyer, Kenyon Middleton, Shohei Ohtani, Albert Pujols, J.C. Ramirez, Garrett Richards, Tyler Skaggs, Nick Tropiano, Blake Wood, and Chris Young.
Okay, well, Ohtani isn't on there anymore because he's finishing out the season as a DH. But I just can't. They have 9 people on the 60-day DL. 9 people. I mean, the players they have on there, they're still sort of important, I guess.
Yeah.
Pujols is on there. Ramirez, Young, Lamb.
Kenyon Middleton was going to be their closer this year, but that got thrown out the window.
It's just I like how you just put on our podcast doc, you just put everyone died. That's pretty much the Angels season so far. And it was announced, we haven't talked about Ohtani yet, but so Ohtani is needing Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Well, it's Tommy John is recommended, or he sits out for 7 months anyway, and then still doesn't fully recover. So it looks like he's going to get Tommy John, but they're going to have him finish out the year as a DH for some reason, which I'm like, why? You know?
Yeah, why not just have him go get some surgery now? And
because you're dead. The Angels are dead. They're already out. Well, I don't think they're officially eliminated, but, you know.
They might as well be at this point.
Yeah, they're gone, okay? They're out. But, so, you know, I did hear someone bring up an interesting idea, which was, should they bring Ohtani back as a closer? Less stress on his arm. They could have him DH and then just put him in to pitch.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
I mean, we all know that Angels bullpen isn't, you know, the best, but especially after losing Petit, how could they let Petit go? That was dumb.
Yeah, their bullpen's is like average when you look at it.
Yeah, I'm still salty about the Giants letting Petit go.
Non-tendering Petit, but okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but back to the Angels. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I mean, it's an interesting idea. You imagine Ohtani out of the bullpen. Oh
as
my
your closer.
Gosh. That wouldn't be fair. It'd be game like every time. But you know, you're looking to get maximum value out of him.
Yeah.
And you know, he's been able to show what he can do as a hitter recently.
Yeah,
you know,
19 home runs, 8 stolen bases, 964 OPS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's still super young, so...
Yeah, 23 or 24.
It really depends on where they could feel they could get more value. Him as a starter or as a reliever. I'm kind of thinking as a reliever because he could DH more. I just want to make sure he'd be able to handle that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's kind of like a little league thing, though. You know, you hit, and then, you know, coach is all like, hey, go warm up. So then you go, like, warm up, and then you come into pitch after you've played a full game already. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not like Ohtani is your everyday major league ball player.
Yeah, so
I think he gets a pass for that.
Yeah, I think he'd be able to handle it. I think, you know, he's like him and his first season. Your first season coming over from Japan is probably the hardest to adjust to.
And he's done that pretty well.
I know, he's done that pretty well. He's done that really well. But so what do you think they should do? Do you think they should keep him as a starter / DH every 3 days or whatever, or do you think they should just have him as a closer?
I think they should make him as a late inning guy because at least then you can preserve his arm. Maybe eventually move him back to the rotation, but I don't know. But after surgery, I think you should just make him a late inning guy and limit his workload.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't want to have him get Tommy Juan, bring him back, and then just he needs to get it again. It's just, it's not good.
Yeah,
like you don't want that to happen, especially with the idea of the Angels. This was reported by Ken Rosenthal yesterday. They would, if Trout doesn't want to re-sign to a long-term deal, they would consider trading him.
Okay, so here's my question: do you think Trout would be open to staying with the Angels?
If I'm Trout, no. I would get out of there as soon as possible. This front office hasn't proved anything to me. They've had the ability to make, a championship team around Mike Trout, but instead they're like, hey, let's go get Josh Hamilton and Pujols and just throw all the money at him. Oh, and C.J. Wilson too. They made some good signings.
They made some good trades though, like Justin Upton. They went and got Andrelton Simmons, and they've built a decent rotation. But I mean, it's all about how players are going to stay healthy. That's their biggest concern. That's the biggest thing concerning next year.
And if I'm Trout, I'm sitting there just carrying the team like every day because everyone keeps getting hurt, right? Pujols is a year older. Simmons isn't all that young either. Justin Upton, he's kind of a wild card. I mean, he's been doing good, but they signed him to a 5-year extension, which That makes me nervous.
Yeah, I think
you don't know how Shohei Ohtani is going to do after he comes back from Tommy John.
There's a lot of up in the air questions, and then there's a bunch of health questions too. So,
which is why, if you're Trout, you don't want to sign. I'm sure the Angels are looking for 10 years because he's freaking Trout.
Yeah.
But if you're Trout, you at least you don't want to do it this year. Definitely.
No.
I would say you wait it out. You see how they're doing in your contract year. Okay.
Yeah.
If you think they're doing good and they have some young pieces, then go ahead and be like, hey, I'll sign an extension, in June or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, the Angels, they're not very young besides Shohei Ohtani, really.
They're most of them are 28, 27, 28, so it's not old, but it's not really young.
Yeah, so...
Because, Heaney, they have Andrew Heaney, Tyler Skaggs. Garrett Richards is going to be free agent after the year once Nick Tropiano comes back. That's, all guys in 26, 27 age range. Their youngest pitcher is Jamie Barra at 21, but him and Ohtani are outliers among, a not young rotation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... And then, you don't know how Ohtani is going to do when you come back, so... Okay, let's say this. So, it's Trout's contract year. Angels aren't competing. He hasn't decided where he's going yet, but he's not extending, okay? He hasn't extended an offer yet. Do you trade him? It's July 31st. Do you trade him?
If you know for sure he's not coming back. This has to be you absolutely know, I think you trade him.
You don't know, because he doesn't know. He probably wouldn't know until his contract is up too. Right?
Yeah. I'm still that kind of threw something into it because I was thinking absolutely if he has no intention of re-signing with you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You don't want to
let Trout walk without any value. You don't want to pull a Bryce Harper.
Yeah, freaking Nationals, man. I'm like,
he's been one of the best hitters since the deadline. Or since
he is gone. After this season, he's out.
Yeah, you could have capitalized on him you could have capitalized on him being one of the best hitters since the All-Star break, but okay.
Yep. But it's just, I don't know. I just, you don't want to be the front office that waits and loses nothing, but you also don't want to be the ones that trade him and then he's like, oh, I would have resigned, but y'all traded me, so bye. I'm going to Philly. Philly and Trout.
Philly is definitely going to be big spenders. Think about if they get Machado, because I think they're going to be one of the highest bidders for Machado. Think if they could get Machado and Trout on the same team.
They could. They have lots of money to throw at everybody.
They have lots of money in a young team that has a bright future.
And we do know Trout likes Philly a lot.
Yeah.
Because, he's an Eagles fan. I'm pretty sure he grew up near there, right? Near Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he's from Philadelphia exactly, but is he from Pennsylvania?
I'm looking.
Or Jersey or something. I don't know, but I know he's a big Phillies fan, and he does like playing in Citizens Bank. So.
He's from New Jersey, so yeah, he's.
Jersey. Okay, yeah, but Philly looks like the spot, man, to go if you're a free agent.
Yeah. Philly's gonna be looking at making some big moves to solidify themselves in that,
because they have tons of money coming off the books. They have a lot of contracts finishing up finally, so basically, you want to go where you have the best chance of winning,
and I think
right
Philly
now,
has
those
one of the best chances,
and the best chances in the future. So. And right now, those teams are the Astros, who don't have a lot of money. The Red Sox, who I don't know where you're going to play, unless maybe you're a starter or a reliever, right?
Yeah.
Yankees.
Kind of full.
Yeah, kind of full. But the Phillies and the Braves, they're looking nice. So
yeah. I don't know about the Braves, though, if you go to the Braves.
I don't think he would, but I think other free agents are definitely looking over there.
I don't know about outfield, though, for the Braves, because they got a really good outfield over there.
Yeah. Well, Nick Markakis isn't getting any younger, so we'll see how he does.
Nice year. Yeah.
He's having a really good year, but all right. So moving on to our other horrible team of the day, the Mets, who are they're just
they're
not good at anything besides starting pitching, are they?
They have like some really good start because DeGrom, obviously we know that he's probably gonna win Cy Young. If he doesn't, there's a serious problem there. You have Zach Wheeler, who's done really good this year, and then you have Noah Syndergaard, who when he's healthy can obviously be an ace.
Yep. And okay, it seems like every time I watch DeGrom pitch, okay, he like the Cubs game, the game they were playing the Cubs. He went, I believe, 8 innings, okay, gave up 1, and the only run the Mets scored was from a hit by him. I'm just like, how is this happening?
If this team wants to compete, they have to get a guy that has more. They have to get guys that aren't Todd Frazier and Ahmed Rosario, who don't get on base at all.
Well, they have Cespedes, but he keeps getting injured, which sucks.
They have Cespedes getting injured doesn't help.
Does Cespedes get injured like every year? Cespedes gets injured like every year. So.
He's not very durable, but they do have some guys like Brandon Nimmo and Wilmer Flores who aren't doing bad, but and Michael Conforto.
Yeah, they got Austin Jackson, who I guess I don't know.
Okay average. He's on base.
He's on a 1-year deal, so whatever. Jose Reyes is there for some reason to exist. I don't know what's going on with this team. On the bright side, David Wright's going to return soon. Yeah, so that's exciting.
At least there's one thing for Mets fans to look forward to.
Yeah, that's he might not return this year. I don't know if he is or not.
I don't think so.
But if he comes back next year, man, good for him. That's
the Mets could have a team with. The Mets next year could have a team with David Wright on third and Tim Tebow in left field.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, the Mets.
With Jacob DeGrom starting, throwing 9 innings but not getting the win.
he goes like 9 innings. He gives up like 1, and then they lose. Oh,
I'm sure that's happened this year.
It of course it has. Of course it has. But all right, so the Mets really good pitching.
Nothing else though.
Terrible at everything else. Do you think it's time for a full rebuild? We're talking White Sox Astros rebuild. Fall into the pit of misery kind of rebuild.
Why not? What would be like stopping them? The fact that they have a few good starting pitchers?
Yes, that's what's stopping them right now. If their starting pitching was like average, they'd be tanking so hard.
Do you think that they should just trade away everything valuable yet? Do you think it's time yet?
I think it might be time.
I think so too.
This team isn't terrible when people are healthy, but they got a case of the Angels over here.
It's not as bad.
Not as bad. No one's as bad as the Angels, man. That Angels DL can be printed on like 5 pages. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's like, what are we doing? I don't know. The Mets are what? They're like 400. Are they 400 this year?
They're 64 and 77.
Okay, so but like teams like that, I'm kind of like, what direction are you headed in?
Because you're not really like horrible. You're not like Orioles, but you're not necessarily Yankees. What do you do here?
Yeah, like there will always be teams like the Mariners that are like close to competing. Like they're really close to getting that wild card spot, and they should get that wild card spot or a playoff spot, but they're not going to because the Indians get to play in the AL Central, right? So. Hold on. I need to talk about this. I had some Indians fan. Okay, he was complaining, saying how the Indians shouldn't be in the playoffs, right? But they're going to be, because he was like, we have 80 wins. The Mariners have 78, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, but you guys get to play the White Sox, the Royals, the Twins, who am
and
I
the
forgetting?
Tigers.
And the Tigers. Yeah, I'm like, you guys play literally the worst competition in the league besides the Orioles, okay? But I'm thinking, the Mariners play so much one-run games, right?
Yeah.
If you put the Mariners in the AL Central, they would be ahead of the Indians right now.
Yeah.
Like replace the Twins with the Mariners.
Yeah.
And because you get to play the worst competition in the league. I don't know why you're trying to say, we're so good.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's the equivalent of like a kid beating up on like a high schooler getting to beat up on a bunch of like 10-year-olds. And being like, yeah, I beat up a bunch of people one time.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's like just like the AL Central is so bad.
Why are they even in division
anymore?
Like it's the moment a team starts to get a moment a team in that division starts to get to the 500 mark, the Indians have to start worrying. Because there's like right now they have like a monopoly over in the Central.
I know. It's not like I don't think the Indians are like a bad team or anything. That's I think they're really good. I just think they're underperforming. Like they should have a better record than they do. Let's be real, right?
Yeah.
They have two of the best young players in the entire league in Lindor and Ramirez.
And then you have like some other guys like Encarnacion.
I know. The team is solid. The team is solid, but y'all just underperform into eternity since you're playing in the freaking AL Central. Okay. It's just ugh. All right. Well, okay. Did we finish with the Mets? I think we did.
I don't know. We kind of got off track because you brought up like how someone said that in your comments.
I know. It's just it gets really annoying when Indians fans try to flex on me with their 80 wins in the AL Central. Whoa. Okay. All right. So Mets rebuild. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We agree. Yes, they should rebuild because you could Syndergaard, you're going to get a little bit for him, but, can you imagine if they trade DeGrom, this offseason?
They could get, so much back for DeGrom after this offseason.
I know. They would get a lot. They would get so much. They get
if they
quite
traded
a bit for Syndergaard.
They could probably get, all the Yankees' top prospects if they wanted to do that.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to trade them to the Yankees, though. Because you know how Mets and Yankees fans are. They just love to trash
Okay,
on
let's
each other
say you're the biggest. Let's say it is you're the Mets GM, and the Yankees are willing to offer you Esteval Floria and all their top prospects at Chance Adams. Throw him in there. Would you accept it for DeGrom, even if they're
your rival? I would, but I'm not a Mets fan, too. So
I'm not a Mets fan either.
So
I'm not a Mets fan nor a big Yankees fan, so I guess we're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah, that's kind of like for you. If Andrew McCutchen got traded for the Cubs, but they got all the Cubs' top prospects, right?
Yeah.
Would that be worth it to you?
Maybe. Depends.
Maybe?
Because the Cubs don't really have a farm system, so the Cubs don't have a farm system, so probably not.
Okay, I mean, okay, let's say they had, Yankee-level prospects, and they got, 2 of them for McCutchen.
I think I want more.
More? Really? Come on.
That's because alright, well, yeah, we're looking at this kind of from a non-fan perspective.
Yeah.
We're looking at this from a baseball perspective, not a fan perspective.
Well, let's be real. That's how GMs look at it. GMs have the most cold blood out of anyone.
Yeah, so who knows? We'll see what happens.
Alright, so Mets... Figure yourselves out and just trade DeGrom so he can, not die while he's on the Mets.
Trade. Don't make it. There could be a whole team of just players that are on bad teams, but are the best, Trout and DeGrom.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we talked a little bit about divisions earlier, and I figured, we should talk about the NL West, which is really close right now, because Rockies, the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks are all close, and it looks like whoever doesn't win the division will not make the playoffs. Probably.
That's weird to think about.
I know, because
That's weird to think about. Yeah, that's weird to think about that the Dodgers might not make the playoffs after coming off a World Series run.
Mm-hmm. And like at the start of the year, a lot of people were saying, obviously Dodgers won the NL West, and then maybe Rockies, Diamondbacks wild card again, right? The Brewers, who I had winning the division, are only 2 games back. Keep that in mind. Just saying. And so, the wild card's interesting right now because, right now, if the season ended today, it would be Milwaukee and St. Louis, which would be a lot of fun.
That would be interesting because they're 2 rivals in the same division.
I just find that total crap that St. Louis is 79-64 and would be the 5 seed, even though they have better records than Colorado and Atlanta, who would go get to play each other in the division series.
Yeah, and then there's also the Phillies, too. Where are the Phillies right now?
The Phillies they're currently 4.5 back. Dodgers are 1.5 back of the wild card. Diamondbacks are 2.5.
Okay.
And it looks like the Dodgers are about to be 1 game back of 0.5 back of the NL West, because it looks like they're about to beat the Rockies today.
Okay, so out of these 3, who do you think takes that division?
Oh, man. I low-key don't know if I could say anything,
Why?
You know how it is. I can't say it, because, like, I don't like the Dodgers.
Just say it.
It's not... Because, like, if I say anyone that isn't the Dodgers will win the division and then, like, go to the World Series.
And then you'll get a bunch of flack for it in your comments, like that one video.
Because this is how the baseball gods like to punish me. So, if we were talking about the NL Central or anything else, like, I think the Brewers are still going to win the NL Central because I had them at the start of the year, and I still want to believe in that team. But
yeah.
Okay, so who do you have? Since I can't say anything,
I'll
get trashed on it.
I'm rooting for the Diamondbacks, but I still think it's going to be the Dodgers.
You think the Dodgers are going to pull it out?
I think I'm still rooting for the Diamondbacks.
The Rockies are fun though.
I want to see Goldschmidt and David Peralta.
I don't know if the Rockies have the depth in the postseason.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough like bullpen depth. I don't think they have enough starting pitching depth to go deep in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
decent lineup, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's basically just who gets hot. I mean, the Diamondbacks are the most up and down team I've ever seen in my life. They are just streaky. So if they get hot towards the end of the year, then they'll probably win the division. If they don't, then they'll be like 7 back at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's, unless the Diamondbacks, get hot, which they can, I think it's going to come down to the Dodgers and the Rockies. So
I'm still really rooting for the Diamondbacks because I want to see that team.
I'm just rooting for anybody but the Dodgers because I don't like it. I know I don't like the Dodgers, but I don't like it when teams are in the playoffs for like, let's see, this is what, their 5th year in a row, 6th if they make it. Let's see.
I'm not sure.
They won the West.
I think they made it every year since 2013 at least.
Yeah, every year since 2013, which is just like...
To be fair, they haven't... for a few
years,
boring.
They
didn't really have
Switch
much
it up.
To be fair, for a few years, they didn't have a lot of competition. Like, there was a few years where, like, the Giants were competitors, and that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was basically just... Diamondbacks were okay, Rockies were okay, and then the Padres were horrible as always, right? So, I don't know. We'll see. I really want to say who I think will win, but I can't because, baseball gods just like to punish me in that way. All right, but getting into our last topic, which is the Oakland Athletics.
I think everyone's rooting for the A's at this point.
The A's are only 3.5 back of the AL West.
Now think about, they could be like a game and a half or even a half game out if it wasn't for those few errors made by Luke Roy, especially the one against the Astros.
Oh my gosh, that was horrible.
He
dropped the ball
and then he tries to throw it to first and misses the first baseman.
That's just incredible.
I really hope if there's a possibility that they could miss the playoffs by 1 game, and they can blame it all on Luke Roy not being able to throw to first base.
Oh my gosh, Luke Wright. Okay, so I still think the Astros are gonna pull out the division because they're hot, man.
Yeah.
Like Bregman is like the best player in baseball right now. Recently, okay,
Yeah.
over his last 3 games, he's probably the best player in baseball. Correa's getting back into it. He's starting to actually hit again. Their lineup is so deep, dude.
I know.
Tony Kemp.
Like every player that they have on their lineup and then even on their bench could be like really actually good players.
Mm-hmm. I think Tony Kemp's hitting around like 280 with like a 340 OBP. He's hitting like 9th in that lineup, right? Tyler White came out of nowhere. He went to AJ Hinch's office and he's like, what do I need to do to like stay up here?
And then
AJ Hinch is all like hit, and then he's like, okay, let me just get like player of the month really quick, right? It's just like it's incredible, like what they've been able to do, and this is what World Series teams do. They get guys that haven't. They get guys to have their career years all in the same year. We saw this with the Astros last year. Guys like Marwin Gonzalez and let's see who else. Marisnik hit almost 300
and then on the
last
Dodgers,
year.
and then on the Dodgers, you have like who'd you have with them with the Chris Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Right. This year they have Matt Kemp.
Marisnik almost hit 300, but okay.
Yeah, he was close. He was close last year.
Okay, well, if you consider a 234 average close, then okay.
He hit 234 last year.
He did better though. Power. I think he had 16 home runs. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, I must be thinking of Gonzalez, I guess, or someone
Yeah,
else.
Gonzalez batted 303, so that might be who you're thinking of.
I must have been thinking of Gonzalez, but they had guys that were doing.
And then you had George Springer, who's doing okay this year.
Reddit did good. Besides in the playoffs, he fell off a cliff or something. I don't know what happened to him in the playoffs last year, but it's just
and then and then the rotation, it's like every player you look at is like could be an ace.
could be an ace for teams
a
like
lot of
the
teams.
A's or the Yankees, maybe. I don't know, but so the A's are, and the A's have part of that too. Chapman, right? Rodney's come in. He's been good for them. He's been really good for them. Wilson, yep. So
their first baseman Matt Olson, because he said Matt
Olson.
Chapman.
Did I say Wilson? Well,
Yeah,
Chapman's doing good too.
Chapman's their best player on that team.
Yeah. So, okay. So, do you think the A's have a chance to pull out the division, or at least a good chance?
They have a chance, but I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
It would be fun to watch them do it, but I don't think they will.
I mean, I just hope they go the wild card game and beat the Yankees, and then they beat the Red Sox, and then we get A's versus Astros.
It's hard as a Pirate fan to root against the Yankees now that they have McCutchen.
But it's the A's.
I know.
A's.
I'm so torn as a Pirate fan who to root for in the playoffs. It's like I could root for McCutchen and the Pirates, or I could root for the A's because they're the Oakland A's.
Oh my gosh, the A's. They're just story of the year, aren't they? They're doing great.
I know, they're
incredible.
I don't think I think everyone thought that division is going to be a runaway for the Astros. And then it's like the A's are like the A's come up and are definitely right there with them.
If anyone says, "Oh, I knew the A's were going to be 3 games out in September," you're lying to yourself. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming.
Nobody thought that the A's were going to have the best bullpen in baseball and one of the best offenses as well.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame because they still can't get people to show up to their games. Like, I was watching Mad Dog with Christopher Russo, right?
Yeah.
And they're doing an interview with Bob Melvin, and Bob Melvin was even like, "Oh yeah, I think we're playing really good baseball. Hopefully we could get some more fans to actually show up." So A's fans, if you're listening to this, show up to the games. Your team is really good this year, So
yeah,
it's gonna be really interesting September. So
it's coming down to the wire for a lot of divisions.
Yep. So, do you have anything to say before we wrap up?
I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for listening. If you're listening on the pinchurn.com, good for you. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If for those of you that just want, like MP3 forms, you could just play it on our website and then turn off your phone so you could just listen to it while, I don't know, you fall asleep or doing whatever. So, thanks again, everyone, for listening, and we will see you guys in the next episode.